I think he said Whiteman Park is a hoot. Come to EnviroFest 2024. Learn about Whiteman Park's birds and discover ways to improve your sustainability with hands-on workshops and demonstrations. Plus, there'll be market stalls, food trucks and heaps of kids' activities. EnviroFest 2024 at Whiteman Park on March 23 from 10 till 3. You'd be wise to go to whitemanpark.com.au.
This is Shaun Sport in podcast form.
Been waiting for this boxing fight between Tszyu, Australian Tszyu, because I watched his dad fight for 1,000 years and he represented Australia. Of course, he was Russian-born, came over here and he started winning world titles. So everyone was like,
So we love
Aussie
him.
Costa Tszyu, Aussie is Vegemite.
He must have voted for Putin as well.
Everybody did.
That's insane,
That
by
was
the
a
way.
no-brainer.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But just with
But
Putin,
you can't.
firstly,
But you can't.
if anyone
If
goes
you vote
against him,
against, you die.
he kills them.
You get poisoned.
He kills them.
You get poisoned.
Or pushes them out of the country.
You get
Why is
locked up.
Or
why
their
is no one
plane
over
blows
there-
up.
Why is no one over there going, hey, this isn't right?
Because when they do,
They get poisoned.
correct.
Poisoned! Anyway,
Or
keep going.
chucked in jail.
So let me guess,
so
Costa's opponent got poisoned?
No, it's Tim Tszyu, son.
Tim.
He doesn't have a lot to do with his father, but he was waiting for this big fight in America. And the big deal is to fight at Vegas,
Yes.
Las Vegas, big crowd. And from that point on, was just going to set him into
A
the
title
next,
campaign.
Yeah,
Yeah.
stratosphere in
Yeah.
terms of
Yes.
being a hero.
Yeah.
He's got the WBO title as it stands now, but to go to the next level and get those $50 million fights, you just need one big one, and that was going to happen in 2 weekends' time. The guy's pulled out, Keith Thurman. Keith, I know. He's pulled a bicep muscle. He's torn a bicep
that's
muscle.
problematic.
Keith.
Can't box one-handed.
No, you can't.
So, I mean,
now
that's just
they've got
bad luck, basically.
Yeah, but now they've got to just find a makeshift guy who's just going to come in off the pine after a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
and,
but it's
and
not-
just
that's
fight him
not
for
the
the sake
draw
of
card.
nothing.
It's
And
not
you're going to,
yeah.
and he's going to get, Tim's going to win, and then they all walk away, and he doesn't
Yeah.
get paid half the amount of money that he's expected to. So that's disappointing.
One bicep took him down.
All right, so Keith Urban.
yes,
Keith.
Thurman.
Is that it for famous Keiths?
There's Keith and Lee
Keith
on
Richards.
Gogglebox.
Keith Richards for sure.
Keith and Lee on Gogglebox.
Okay, and is that it? Have we tapped the Keith well? For notable Keiths?
Harry's just going to look that up while we're doing that. We'll find some relatable Keiths or famous Keiths. I'm sure there's more out there.
No,
I'm
but
definitely sure.
Not old Keiths that used to do things. We want
Well, we
currently
called
doing
Keith
things.
Richards.
Keith. Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
he
yeah, but
counts because he's
yeah.
currently still doing something.
Okay. Yeah, because Mick Jagger will never stop them playing and touring.
We've basically,
Jesus.
there's other Keiths up here, but they're not a Keith worth Keithing about.
Yeah, okay, I get it. Yeah, for sure.
Wow.
One thing about is worth talking about is that after I finished the swim on the weekend, a couple of hours later, a lady by the name of Betty Craig, who we got
We
to
talked to
interview a few weeks ago ahead of the Rottnest swim.
Yeah.
Now,
So she-
Katie was born the same year the ocean was made.
So she was hoping to be the oldest solo female to ever finish the Rottnest Channel swim,
That's correct.
right? But of course, it was abandoned, so she's going to have to try that again next year.
She decided, no, I'm going again in the Porter
Yes.
Pub, which was
But
on the
that's a
weekend, the
separate
one that I
record,
did.
though.
Yes, but she still counted as the oldest soloist to cross the channel.
Right.
Is what she was saying. The person who held the record was a Queenslander.
Yes.
Anyway, she was telling me I saw her at the start. And she looked happy as anything, about to
Yeah.
attempt this. And it's so
She's
funny
done it
'cause-
many times before, though.
Many
you should
times
say,
before.
yes. She-
But
she's
she's
looking for the
75,
oldest,
right?
yes.
And I was talking to my dad about this when he's talking about aches and pains and how he's just swimming up and down and all the rest of that stuff. I kept bringing up these people. 75 years of age, this woman.
Yes.
What an absolute champion. So she's there. I'm fretting
Yes.
about to do my first one. She's pretty cool. And anyway, obviously I got over there. She got over there. And to see her at the other end, it was just
Did
like...
her head swell up?
Well,
No, her head looked all right.
at the end, you two would actually make
Look
a
the
cute
same
couple.
age.
Because your head had aged so much. People would have gone, oh, isn't that sweet? They did it together.
To be fair, it sprung back a bit today.
It sprung back.
You look
Oh, I
a
don't
little
think you
better.
look any different today.
No.
It's just
No.
that photo
that moment.
was shocking.
Oh, Megan was really concerned about me.
Well, because she can see what her future is.
She was concerned about you.
Oh, my God.
She was
She
concerned
never
about her.
touches me. She never touches me.
Well,
she
mate,
she was
I
openly
predict
like,
a
oh
whole
my God.
lot of pillow forts in the future.
Shaun Sport in podcast form.
There's been happening in the footy world over the last 24 hours. Firstly, it was interesting to see that Adam Simpson on Channel 7 last night has said that Andrew Gaff, a veteran of the West Coast Eagles and has been a superstar for that team, will be playing in the Waffle this week.
I know, it's
He's
amazing,
already declared
isn't it? The fact you just don't hear a coach saying that.
No, you don't.
Before, selection night.
So
it's amazing, isn't it?
Not up to scrub.
Yeah, he had a
it's
shocking first game.
And last year, Nath, there was a lot of talk about whether he should go on or not, and he elected to, and the club allowed him to still fulfil his contract, and it hasn't started that well. But I'm hopeful he can turn it around, because it does feel like the world is caving in on you when you're in this situation. And
Well,
you're the talk of the town.
it's a whole new world as well afterwards, because you're thinking, is this over soon, and what's next? And
Yeah.
God. Yeah. How will I be stretching every 5 minutes like Shaun?
You're not wrong. For
So
sure.
in pain all the time.
Yeah.
For sure. The other thing to go with that is bad news for Fremantle fans, because Brendan Cox, who is I'd say he's a top 8 player in the team and has been for a number of years, so he's a big-time player. He's done a hamstring that will see him, as Justin Longmuir said yesterday, that would see him on the sidelines for 15 weeks now.
So he's going to require surgery. It's not just a pulled hammy, is it?
As soon as he did it, and the worst part was, Nath, he'd been out of the team, the pre-season, he missed a lot of the pre-season. The ball was kicked really nicely and sharply to him. It was just out in front. But because his touch probably wasn't at a level it maybe would have been in a month's time, he fumbled it, like his first grab, he missed it, and then he ended up diving forward to try to catch it. And then the hamstring snapped off the bone, in a nutshell. That's not great.
No, it's
How
not
do
ideal.
hamstrings do that? Do sometimes they just give up?
And Nathan, the point where
up.
it attaches into the bone is right where you sit. So it's
So
right. It's a
sitting would
bony
hurt?
bit of your butt. Yeah.
Would sitting hurt?
Well, once he has the surgery, it certainly
Oh my
will.
God!
Yeah.
Imagine if sitting hurt.
Yeah. Yes.
Like, I love sitting.
You do. You enjoy
true.
sitting.
I do some of my
Famously.
best work sitting. Not right now, but
Jesse Hogan, I'm going to mention him, who was a recruit to the Fremantle Dockers a few years ago, and they just couldn't contain him off the field.
Yes.
He was just getting himself in trouble all the time. Remember, he smashed his car, did all those things.
Yeah, he did a few
In the
things.
end, the Dockers' idea was, we just need to move him to another club because we can't have him disrupting everything,
Yes.
and he's too much of a gamble for us, even though they acknowledge his talent.
Do they lie and say, "Oh no, he's the best. He's so great"?
Oh.
He's
write a reference
what
for
does he,
him.
what does he do outside of football? He's part of a scrapbooking community, and
Just some volunteer work at old people's
going
homes.
Well, he ended up going to the GWS Giants, and they probably traded him for a carton of 24 can of
Hard
Coke,
Solo.
maybe.
Yeah.
Hard Solo.
if it's Gold Coast.
And he's been fantastic this season. Last year, he turned himself around. This year, he's leading goal kicker. He's kicked 10 goals.
It's amazing, isn't it?
And they're top of the ladder. And finally, the Tassie Devils are the name of the team coming out of Tasmania.
Their jumpers look so old school, though, don't you reckon? So
Well,
they
they are the
literally
state
have a
team.
map of Tassie on the front.
I do.
maybe.
It reminds me of. I think when it looks like I'm a Heritage Round jumper already, because
Yes.
it's sort of like classic old school 70s, the
State
sticker
of
on a
origin.
van,
Yeah.
sort of situation that would have glitter in it. No, I mean Tassie Devils. It makes sense.
Yes, I thought there was a problem with because Warner Brothers own the rights to the
Yeah, they must
Tasmanian
have
Devil.
worked that out. But they cannot. You
It
cannot
doesn't
own
seem
the-
right,
Exactly.
doesn't it?
I know.
And
Well,
that's he's called Taz, the Tassie Devil, Taz the Tasmanian Devil, doesn't he? So maybe they have to use all that to infringe copyright.
Okay.
But it's just, I mean, to me, the Tassie Devils make so much sense. It just highlights how stupid the Jack Jumper's name is.
In the grand
playing
final,
in the
though,
grand
so it's not
final.
affecting their performance.
No, I know.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I know. But I think with the Tassie, the Jack Jumpers obviously were first, Nath, but I think the AFL and Tasmania were like, only football can use the Tassie
So
Devils.
the Jack Jumpers are an ant, yes?
Yes.
Yes.
So are they a mighty ant? Are they
Yes.
like
They're
the
mighty.
mightiest
Yes.
of all the ants?
They jump
they are.
jacks, Nathan.
They are.
Like people named Jack.
Good luck to Tasmania.
No, car jacks.
2028 is when they're talking about them coming in. The main sticking point, though, there is
the
an
stadium.
election coming up, and the AFL said the business case study has said we're having a new stadium, or it's going to be put on
it's
hold.
not happening.
It's not happening.
Although, even though the new stadium was only going to be about 5,000 more than the current stadium.
23,000 they wanted with a roof.
A new stadium being built to only 23,000 capacity.
Yeah.
In Hobart, yeah.
What's the point?
I was kind of thinking that too. Why
Yeah.
wouldn't you make it 30,000 as
Yeah.
a bare minimum? But I don't
And
know.
while we're at it,
23
just
is the
40.
number. Yeah, 25. Why is it 23?
23 is a weird number, isn't it? All right, thanks, Shaun.
Shaun Sport is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.
I think he said Whiteman Park is a hoot. Come to EnviroFest 2024. Learn about Whiteman Park's birds and discover ways to improve your sustainability with hands-on workshops and demonstrations. Plus, there'll be market stalls, food trucks and heaps of kids' activities. EnviroFest 2024 at Whiteman Park on March 23 from 10 till 3. You'd be wise to go to whitemanpark.com.au.